What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Today we get some awesome information from Chevrolet. Over at their website, they now have a build-in price tool for the C8 Corvette Z06. And what that means for you is that you can actually build this thing out and see exactly how much it's going to cost if you end up getting one. Let's jump right into it. All right, guys, so since I know the question is going to come up about the visualizer, yes, it has been available for quite some time now, but there has not been prices associated with what options you were adding, and there were some options missing. So we've been kind of waiting for Chevrolet to introduce the build tool here with the pricing and everything, and sure enough, right on their website, chevrolet.com/performance/Corvette/Z06, we do now have a build and price option down at the bottom right of the main page right here. So if we click on that, it is going to take us to the builder, which you guys have all seen before with the C8 Corvette base. It's the same kind of thing, only now it is updated to reflect the pricing for the Z06 as well as all of the different options. So you're going to get this little prompt here in the beginning. Just go ahead and X out of that, and then we have the options beginning right here. So we got our coupe and the convertible. Coupe starting at $106,695, convertible starting at $114,195. For my particular build, we're going to go ahead and select the coupe, and obviously we get down here the pricing of the coupe as well as hitting next for the trim. Now, once again, same kind of thing as the C8 Corvette. We're going to get the 1, 2, and 3 LZ, all of which comes with pretty much the same kind of feature set that the base C8 does. I'm going to go ahead and go with the 3LZ because this would be the car for me to keep for quite a bit of time. I want that top of the line kind of treatment here. So right off the bat, a coupe 3LZ, we are at $124,000. This thing is going to get expensive quickly. We already know that. But now we're going to be able to see exactly how much all of these options really are going to run. So down at the bottom here, we're seeing our total again, and then we'll just go ahead and hit next for exterior. So here we're just going to first choose our color, and I do believe I'm going to go with black this time around. Scroll down a little bit more, and we're going to see your top stripes and graphics. Of course, I'm not going to actually do any of these, but I am going to show you guys, just for the sake of the video, what is in here. So we got the stinger stripes. I kind of like that red and carbon look right there, but still not something I don't think I would do on my car. We also have the full-length dual racing stripe. Now, this is obviously for the 70th anniversary edition, and it actually says that at the bottom that it requires that package. Same with the stripes here for the white pearl 70th anniversary edition. We do have the blue dual racing stripes here for $9.95. Those actually look pretty good on a white car. But anyway, guys, we can go just down through all of the colors here. You can see they're all available. Pricing for everything is there, but we're going to hit next down here and choose our wheel. Now, this is where some of the serious cost starts to add up, because if you go with the carbon fiber wheels, you are talking about quite a bit of money. For the time being, I think I'm going to choose the carbon fiber wheels, but if I don't, I'm going to go with just the black forged aluminum. Now, this is heavily dependent on whether or not I can get the car at MSRP, because one of the places that I have an allocation out of was 10,000 over, and if I have to pay 10,000 over for the allocation, I'm going to drop the carbon fiber wheel to kind of offset the cost. But for this particular video, I'm going to go ahead and spec the car out with the visible carbon fiber wheels, which again, we are able to see the price of. But before we jump into that, the builder here is asking us to go ahead and select the performance carbon ceramic rotors as well. So I do want to add that option anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and throw that on. Now, with all of that added on, we are now looking at $143,635, and we haven't really even gotten into the options yet. Man, the visible carbon fiber wheels are obviously almost $12,000. The carbon fiber wheels that are painted carbon flash are still almost 10 grand. So you're saving about 2 grand just to not see the visible weave of the carbon fiber. But let's jump into tires here. We already kind of know what the options are going to be with this one. Obviously, as it sits now, it's allowing me to put the 4S tires on here, but as soon as we select that Z07 package, it's going to jump over to the Sport Cup 2Rs, and I am going to select the Z07 package. So let's keep going here. Brake calipers, we are going to go with a bright red painted. That's kind of my thing. My C7ZR1 is basically the same kind of setup. It's black with red calipers. So let's go to center cap. This is something I probably wouldn't change anyway, but $260 if you wanted to get something a little bit more custom, a little bit more you. Not too bad, I guess. Wheel locks, if you wanted to make sure no one's going to steal your wheels or hope that they don't with something like this, you can go ahead and grab these for, it looks like $125 for the black ones that would match the stock lug nuts that come with the carbon fiber wheels. Now, before we go into any further here, I did want to mention that the painted calipers are $695. They used to be $595. So these are $100 more to have these calipers painted. It's kind of odd, but something to note. But let's go ahead and go into interior next, down at the bottom right. Now in here we obviously have a bunch of different options. Again, pretty much the same kind of options we had with the base C8. Can go through a bunch of different colors here, especially with the 3LZ interior. You're going to have a lot more options, a lot more different color stitching and stuff like that. I am going to just stick with the typical black leather. We are going to do red stitching accents though, and I believe we'll do that in a later step. But let's go on to seat type. For this particular car, I think I'm going to stick with the GT2 bucket seats. I had the competition seats in my base C8. I really like them, but they do get a little tiring after about 4 hours in the car. So in this case, I think I'm going to try the GT2 seats. But if you wanted to move up to the competition sport bucket seats, as long as you have the 3LZ interior, it's only a $500 option. Moving down below that, we have the seatbelt color. Of course, I'm going to go ahead and go with red just to match the stitching as soon as we get to that point. And that is a $495 option. We do have a bunch of different options here, but they all are the same color options that we got for the base C8 as well. Scrolling down a little bit more, we got the steering wheel material and color. I'm going to just kind of keep the stock leather one because it does still come with the carbon fiber and everything, since this is the 3LZ. I do not want to do suede on the steering wheel. Moving down a little further, we're going to go to packages, which is again down at the bottom right. This is where the prices are going to start really adding up. So right off the bat, you can see the 70th special anniversary right here. That is a $5,995 option. That is not something we're going to choose today. I'm going to scroll down past that. Even though it is an option I know a lot of you guys are going to be interested in, it's right there. Not too bad priced, honestly. $6 grand for that package is pretty good. You can, of course, get the C8R graphics for $995 if you wanted that stinger stripe on the front hood. Of course, you got your all-weather liners and some roadside package. This is very similar stuff that the C8 had. Scrolling down, though, we are going to see the Z07 performance package. This is going to add $8,995. We are going to go ahead and add that to the build here. And we are also going to add the visible carbon fiber ground effects. Now this is something, again, kind of depends on what wheels I get. So if I get the exposed carbon fiber wheels, I'm going to get the visible carbon fiber ground effects. If I end up not getting the carbon fiber wheels, I'm actually going to go with the carbon flash painted carbon fiber ground effect. So for this particular video, I'm going to go ahead and add the visible ones, even though that will probably change depending on what allocation I'm able to get. We'll go ahead and hit select down at the bottom right. And then of course, this is the part where it's going to make me change over to the Sport Cup 2Rs as well. Now you can see down at the bottom, our price is now reflecting $156,220. That's with the Z07 package and the exposed carbon fiber wheels, the exposed carbon fiber ground effects. So let's go down to the bottom right again and hit next options. Up at the top here, we have exterior options and interior. That's where we'll change the stitching, I believe. So let's start with the exterior, where we can see carbon flash painted outside mirrors. We're not going to add that in my case because the car's already black. And interesting to see that Chevy has now separated these two options, where before you had to choose the carbon flash painted mirror cap to also get the carbon flash painted spoiler. It looks like you can now select them individually. You can have just the mirrors or both the mirrors and the spoiler. Scrolling down, we are going to see the Dark Stealth Cross Flags emblem. I actually really like that. It looks pretty cool. It's a $225 option. I've seen this on a 2023 up at Blackout Tinting already, and it is a pretty cool looking option, but on my particular build, I don't think it makes a lot of sense, so I'm going to leave that off. Scrolling down a little bit more, we do see the Edge Red genuine Corvette accessory. So Edge Red is back, in case you guys were interested in getting that for your caliper covers or even the Z06 badging. It is available. Scrolling down a little bit more, we see some indoor covers, premium C8R covers, transparent roof panels. Scrolling down, here's where we see the carbon flash painted spoiler or the visible carbon fiber. Obviously, for this particular build, like I said, I am going with carbon fiber, even though that might not be what I get depending on that allocation situation. So then we're going to go ahead and select mechanical options. A couple things here we're going to want to choose. Number one, the battery package is only $100 for the battery tender. I would like to have that on the car. Scrolling down a little bit more, we are going to choose black exhaust tips. And of course, we definitely need that front end lift, especially with that front splitter. So with those options there, we are now at $159,310 For the car price, let's keep going down to performance. Is there anything here we want to choose? So this is pretty interesting. There's a couple different exhaust options here I have not heard of yet for the Z06. One of them coming with carbon fiber tips. This is definitely interesting. Let's see what this has to say. So by Borla, associated accessories, be seen and be heard. Now these look very much so like exhausts for the base C8 with the side exiting tips out the rear. So I don't know exactly what this is all about. I'm wondering if this was left on here by mistake, because these do not look like Z06 exhausts, but still pretty interesting that these are here. I'm going to go ahead and skip this part for now. I don't see exactly how they even be for the Z06. Let's go up to the top here. We're going to select interior options. This is where I should be able to select my red stitching that I want. And there it is, adrenaline red custom leather stitching. It's a $495 option, but it is going to add some color to the interior, which is really awesome. It also adds, of course, the red center line on the carbon fiber part at the top of the wheel. Keep scrolling down. We also have our carbon fiber interior package level 2. This is what I wanted to do on the car as well. So that is a $5,000 option. What that's going to do is add a lot more carbon fiber around the things that matter on the interior. It's really that extra supercar feel. Now, down at the bottom here, we can see we are now hitting $164,800. Man, this car is expensive, but it really, really looks like it's worth it. I mean, if you could see down the bottom left, that little picture of that car, whew, that thing is something else. Let's click on it and take a look at what it actually is going to look like. Yeah, look at that. Good Lord, is that thing amazingly nice looking. You can actually see it is showing the exact car we've already spec'd, so you can even see the seats inside with the red leather stitching, the red seat belts, the red calipers, the carbon fiber wheels. That is just looking spectacular. Now you can go through all of the pictures here and it will kind of show you the outside from different angles, and then eventually the interior down at the bottom we can click on. Yeah, that thing is definitely up to spec as far as the horsepower obsessed garage is concerned. Now down at the bottom we can hit view interior. Of course, this is going to show us the black leather interior with the red stitching. You can also see the level 2 carbon fiber all through the center console, over on the left, and even up onto the dash. So let's go ahead and hit the X, close out of that, and then we're going to move on to the summary down here at the bottom right. It's going to give you one last glimpse at the car you built, how much it costs, and locating a dealer. Good luck with that one. Basically, guys, that's pretty much it. So we have all of the pricing available here. You can now go right onto GM's website and build this thing for yourself. It is a really, really awesome experience. And I'll tell you what, every time I see this car, it is getting nicer and nicer looking. I can't wait for these things to finally be available so we can go out and try to grab one of these for ourselves. I have 3 different allocations at 3 different dealerships, 2 of which are number 1 and 1 of them are number 2 at that said dealership, but none of them got any allocations. So yeah, until they actually get an allocation, it doesn't matter what spot I am at that dealer. But hopefully that means I can get this pretty quickly once 2023 rolls around and we get some extra allocations. But for now, guys, I will link the builder down in the description below if you want to go ahead and try to build out your own car, have some fun with it, play with some of the options. Let me know what you think down below about that exhaust option. It's kind of odd. Borla would be included on there whenever this car does not have a side exit exhaust. Let me know what your thoughts are about that down below. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. So if you liked what you saw, please hit that thumbs up button. Let me know you're liking the content so we can keep doing this kind of stuff for you. Let me know how much your build comes out to down in the comments section so we can kind of talk about what kind of car you're going to get and how much it's going to cost. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, please do. We're going to have loads of content like this coming you're not going to want to miss. And as always, guys, I will catch you in the next upload.